everybody, welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. I am Julie, MJ's trusty sidekick, and this is, of course, MJ.
Hello.
So welcome to our channel. Thanks for joining us. We want to thank all the new subscribers that we've been getting. Thank you all. Do you know about what we're up to now?
Last time I checked, it was like 1,130.
Yeah. So that's awesome. We're really excited about that. And I will pass it over to MJ so he can talk about the Patreon.
Patreon, yes. Well, I'm doing a lot of work with the Patreon and trying to get things set up there. One of the big things is I have decided to make, it's going to be like a magazine. Mm-hmm. And I call it a magazine, but it's not, I mean, it's homebrew. It's not a big, it's just a document that I'm compiling. But it's going to be like 30 pages.
That's a magazine.
Yeah, maybe even more because of all the stuff I'm throwing in. So basically, it's going to be a monthly MJ magazine for the second tier patrons. And this is going to include a lot of the updates that just don't make it to video. It's going to include articles about maybe miniature projects that I'm working on. Mm-hmm. Let me just say that it is a scratch building magazine, basically.
You're going to love it.
All right. So I'm working very hard on it. I'm going to try and get some software to do the cover so that the cover looks a little more interesting, right? I'm going to maybe do Canvas or something like that, maybe Photoshop. I'm not sure yet. And hopefully make it a little bit attractive for you guys. And basically, it's a scratch builder's magazine. Now, there's going to be other topics in there like extra scenarios, fluff.
We did a little interview yesterday. That's going to be in there, right?
Yeah, this month is going to have a little interview with Julie. It's just a couple of questions that I asked her about her fluff video. And then that's going to be in there. And then we also have a scratch build monthly section. And so that section is called Scratch Builders Monthly. And basically, it's just going to have whatever project I'm working on. So this doesn't replace videos. It hopefully will work with them.
Right.
So it'll be a companion. But only second tier patrons get that document. Okay. And I hope to have it by the end of every month. Okay. So I have a whole month to work on it and get it going. So
check out our Patreon because there's a lot there. And another thing I wanted to say was MJ talks a lot about the second tier patrons and what they get, and that's awesome. But I just want to make sure everybody understands that you also get perks for being the first tier patron. It's not just give us money every month. It's, a couple dollars, and you do get early access to videos and other bonus material that the YouTube channel doesn't have. So both tiers are good. And if you can just afford the first tier or just want to do the first tier, you will get value out of that. And if you can't afford anything and just want to like our videos and talk to us, that's good too. So we appreciate all of your support.
And aside from that, what I really want to say also, for now that you mentioned the first tier, is that first tier patrons do get a bonus video every month. Usually those tiers, the general support tier, does not have any perk. It's really kind of like buy me a cup of coffee kind of thing that they do, right?
But I don't like that,
we like to give at least a bonus video every month for being the $2 tier, and then you also get access to the videos, most videos, because certain videos go on the channel. And we just like, if it's something time sensitive or certain updates that go on the YouTube channel, they don't necessarily go on Patreon first.
But
okay.
The battle rep reports.
The bat reps patrons get to see first, no matter what it is. And certain scratch building projects, patrons get to see first. her fluff videos, patrons get to see first. So that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and I know for myself, for the creators that I watch and support, I love getting the videos early. I feel so important, and it's so exciting. I love it. So
Yeah,
I think it's a good perk.
It's a cool little perk, and it's only $2 a month for the first tier and $3 for the second tier. So the $3 tier is the one that has the big document, and that's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but I'm having fun with it.
And
it's great.
He really does. He puts so much work into it.
Yeah,
honestly.
but I've had experience writing in the past, and I just enjoy it. So I'm going to try to do it, and hopefully, if my hands hold up, because I'm having issues with my hands now, things are swelling up and it hurts, and it's a pain in the butt. So hopefully my hands hold up and I can continue building for you guys, because it's kind of worrisome when your hands start to mess up.
Well, especially when you're an artist and you need
Yeah.
hands for the things that
Yeah,
you do.
I can't even do clay. One reason someone asked me, why haven't you sculpted recently? And it's because my hands, I can't knead the clay like I used to. It really, really hurts. So I got to talk to my doctors about that.
Yes, he does.
But anyway, moving on. Hey, by the way, we forgot to introduce somebody very important. Lady Llama,
Of course, our tabletop general.
our tabletop general.
There.
She's sitting here quietly watching us. And then you have Merlin back there, who's just chilling.
Magic Merlin.
Magic Merlin.
And, well, I guess Admiral Yoda left.
Admiral Yoda's crawling around, but he's a pug. He just does whatever.
He's a grumpy old man.
A grumpy old man. All right, so
Okay.
moving on. What else do we got?
One more thing, one more housekeeping, I guess you would call it, issue before we move on. I just wanted to update everybody a little bit on my health status. I don't know, in case you care. But I was in the hospital for a few days last week again, and haven't been feeling great. I took a little bit to recover from that. I had a biopsy done on Wednesday. So that's why, another reason why, of course, I always say I'm going to be back stronger, and my body's telling me, no. Guess what? You're wrong. But feeling good today, and we'll see what the doctors have to say when all the results are in and all of that. But I just wanted to update you just a little bit on that. So that is that. No more housekeeping stuff. Sorry about the long intro. But first up today, MJ, tell us the poll results.
The poll results, very important. All right, we put up our poll. Rangers of Shadow Deep, 24%. Stargrave, 24%. And that, by the way, is out of 37 votes. I should have said that first. So 37 total votes. 24% for Rangers, 24% for Stargrave. Dragon Rampant, 35%.
Woo! Dragon Rampant.
Drop Zone Commander, 16%. Okay.
Too bad, 'cause I like that one.
Yeah, well, we will be playing Drop Zone Commander. Don't you worry. We will be playing Drop Zone. And this is the first edition because I don't have the upgrade yet. I do have it, but we haven't really looked at it yet. I haven't studied the rules. We're going to probably do the older edition, which is what I'm familiar with, and then do the newer edition kind of upgrade.
I really like Drop Zone Commander because that was like the first one I played.
That was the very first game that when her and I started dating years ago, that was the very first game that she actually played, Drop Zone Commander. So we want to bring it to the channel because it's special to us.
Yes, it definitely is. It's sentimental to me.
Yeah. And it started this whole wargaming thing for her, which I didn't really think she was going to get into it, but here we are. All right, so those are the poll numbers.
Okay.
And this is the Dragon Rampant table. We chose a winter setting. And it's called Battle of Twin Hills.
Right, so it's very cool.
Yeah, and it has a nice little frozen pool in the middle. It is the Northern Guardians, which are like forces of nature from the north. That's Julie's faction.
Of course.
And it has ice elves and people and all kinds of critters. And Ernie is back.
Yes, Ernie the Endrick is back.
Yes, so he will be fighting it out here in Dragon Rampant. And I have, of course, the Lich King of the North, who is a very frosty individual. He's a I forgot what I called him, but when the game comes, we'll explain that. But he's an icy Lich King, and he brings his undead army. So we'll see what happens.
That should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I am, because I really like Dragon Rampant too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a very cool game. So Dragon Rampant is the game you guys chose, the game we will be playing, and we will probably start that game tomorrow. So hopefully, we'll see how things go. Start that game tomorrow, but it won't be on the channel for a while because patrons have to see it first. They get 24 hours to see it, and then it comes on the channel. Okay, so I'm thinking about Monday, you guys will see Dragon Rampant on the channel.
Okay. Stargrave Rangers, another poll. I'm not sure what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, with Stargrave and Rangers. So, I don't know. You guys could tell us in the comments, too. We're thinking of doing, when we're ready, after we play Dragon Rampant, the second place is between Stargrave and Rangers of Shadow Deep, because you guys choose 2 games.
Right, that's right.
Basically, first and second place, so the 2 highest. But this poll and the last poll, games have come tied. So we're thinking of doing another poll.
And didn't we do a roll-off for the last one?
We did a roll-off for the last one, and we could do that again. But I was thinking just give it to the subscribers again. Let them decide between Rangers and Stargrave.
What do you think? Do you want us to do a roll-off, or do you want another poll? Let us know in the comments, and the answer that we get the most is what we'll do.
Yep, and what people think is better, we'll just put up a poll, or we'll do a roll-off like Julie said. All right, and it'll be a quick 5-minute video. We roll it off and decide from there. But I'd like to let the subscribers kind of let us know,
Well, they're doing that in a poll, too.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's an even result. So putting them back up to break the tie
I see what you're
and see what happens, So that's it on the polls.
All right, let's talk about Uncharted Seas.
Uncharted Seas. I had a game. Uncharted Seas is a game by... I had a game. Wasn't that like I had a dream or something?
Yes,
I had a game.
Martin Luther King Jr.
I had a game of Uncharted Seas, and that is by Spartan Games. Spartan Games, well, it's no longer Spartan Games. And this is not currently, this is pretty much a dead game right now. So, but it's a great game. You've played it with me. We played a couple of turns.
Yeah, a couple of training turns.
Yeah, well, I did the same thing, and this was an awesome game. And it was the Dragon Lords, whom you like. They have the dragons and all that stuff, versus the Imperial humans. But I threw in some scratch builds, and there were a couple of ironclad scratch builds for the humans. And it was just a really good game, So I'm not going to reveal who won, but I'm hoping you'll join me in the future.
I certainly will.
So we're thinking of doing a small campaign where we involve naval conflict. We use Uncharted Seas rules. And then we do a terrestrial battle where we use another rule set like Dragon Rampant. We're going to experiment with that.
I think that sounds like a lot of fun.
Stay tuned. We did that. I got that idea because we used to do that in our old club with Warhammer 40K, 3rd edition. And between Battlefleet Gothic and 3rd edition, we used to use both systems. And that's how we played our games.
Very cool.
Very cool.
We will be talking about Warhammer. I will be talking about Warhammer.
Yes.
That's another issue.
Your Warhammer fantasy fluff,
Right.
I think.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. I had a little brain freeze there for a moment.
By the way, Warhammer Fluff, the update is going to be on the magazine. I have a little article. That was the little interview that we were doing. So.
Okay. My apologies. We are now going to be talking about Spelljammer.
Spelljammer, the Spelljammer project. Now that's a big project. I have built 7 ships so far. We have the big Mind Flayer ship. This is a dreadnought. I've added some of the weapons. This was a pretty big build. Pretty big build. What do you think? You've seen it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be basically your enemy.
Uh-oh. It's pretty cool, though. It really is.
So with Spelljammer, 7 ships, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with Spelljammer coming up. There's going to be some fluff about it. I really like the whole idea of the crystal spheres in Spelljammer. You know a little bit about it because
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah, you did your 5th edition character sheet.
Right, that's why I was getting the 5th edition confused.
Yeah.
But, yes, I did my 5th edition character sheet because we're going to do a Dungeons and Dragons version of that.
Right.
Which, for me, is going to be a whole lot of fun because I was never really into Dungeons and Dragons before. And just within, the past couple of years. I'm not opposed to it. I like to watch it, but I was always very uncomfortable trying to do
Role play.
Yeah. Was tough for me.
Yeah.
But we started getting into that a little bit more with our friends, and I really like it. So we're gonna bring it to the channel a little bit.
Yeah, we have a group that we're ready. We're getting things together. We're gonna do some D&D 5th edition. That's gonna go on the channel. It's also gonna go. Some of it'll be on the magazine. We'll give updates on different games that we have. But it's gonna be a Spelljammer campaign in 5th edition. That's what we're doing. So I'm using a fan-based rule set called Wildjammer. You guys should check that out. Anybody that likes Spelljammer should check that out. It's pretty cool. And it's free, you know.
And I made my character.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah, what'd you do? Remember?
What did I do? I made a character who is an elf. She's a high elf, but she has dark elf ancestry, so it makes her a little bit ornery sometimes and a little chaotic. And she's, but, you know, she's not evil.
Right.
But she's got maybe a little bit of an evil streak in her. Like
a little wickedness.
A little wickedness. I like that better. A little wickedness. So her name is Soliloquy. Amakir is her name.
Sorry, that was the dog. That was the dog.
Okay, so yeah, she's a high elf and she's a bard. So her music is magic. And she has a piccolo that's very, very special to her. And once you start seeing, I'm going to write a little fluff piece on her history, so you'll understand then what the piccolo means. She has that, and then she has a harp. And what was the other thing? I can't believe I can't remember.
Right, yeah, piccolo, violin, and a harp.
A violin and a harp and a piccolo. Those are right.
Yeah, and then you have an entertainer pack and all that stuff.
So she sings and dances and plays her instruments and goes about her merry way. Just, you know.
In space, because she's going to be in space. Yeah. And the thing is that she is part of a ship's crew, and everybody else, our group, they're all going to be in this ship, in this Spelljammer.
So we'll each have our own responsibilities for the ship, or on the ship as well. So it's going to be fun. Yeah,
so we're going to have a lot of like fluff videos, and it's a region of realm space that I'm making up. So I'm going to make up my own crystal spheres and my own region of space and everything else. So speaking of which, very important for the Spelljammer project is that it's 2 versions. We're playing a tabletop version, which is separate from our D&D games.
Right, which is what we were talking about to begin with until we switched over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that confused you a little bit.
It did. It confused me. I'm easily confused these days, folks.
So basically, the tabletop version, what you guys are going to see here, we haven't decided how much D&D we're going to put into the channel. But the tabletop version you guys will definitely see. And I'm going to have patrons look out for the monthly editions of my writing, because there will be updates on that.
Right.
Speaking of which, I just want to say something about the Elf Men of War.
I was just going to say that.
The Elf Men of War are your people. For Julie's tabletop battles, she's probably going to be elves.
I know that shocks everyone, but really no one.
So Elf Men of War, in D&D, the Wildjammer edition that I'm using, the fan-based edition. Armor class 16. Hull points 250. That's a lot of hull points. Speed 2,500 feet, and that's because Spelljammer uses, they use feet for their speed. It's not like a number. In the tabletop version, we're going to have a whole different, it's going to be like 6 inches or whatever, right? Crew, 30 to 60 crew to operate it. Days of air, 7,200 days of air. So elves can stay in this thing for quite some time.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. Remember, in Spelljammer, every ship has a bubble of air that it, and its own gravity too. So you guys are not going to be floating around. The cargo hold for this ship is 30 tons, so it can carry quite a few things. And it can only land in a spaceport. As we can see with those sails, my version of a man of war, look at those sails, they're huge. So how do you like that elf man of war?
Amazing.
You like it?
Are you kidding? Yeah.
So that's probably going to be your main ship, your command ship. So that's why I made it.
Terrific. Okay, so when are we going to play Deep Wars again? And I know that we have a couple people that are actually asking for it now. But when, MJ?
Deep Wars. Yeah, I was just talking to Snoopy, who's one of our followers. He's been with us for quite some time, actually. And he's a big fan of Deep Wars. Shout out to Snoopy. Yes, it's a great game. It is a great game. It never got that many views. Not a lot of people. It doesn't have a lot of...
I know, I never understood that because I love it.
It's a great game.
So much fun to play. And the boards that you create for it are just so intricate and makes it even more fun to play.
Yeah, Deep Wars really inspired me a couple of years ago. I started doing a lot of projects for it. Cranky Old Gamer is another YouTuber who has some excellent Deep Wars battle reports. And he's done stuff with the submersibles as well, which I hope to do more of. I would love, if I ever invented a game, my game would be fantasy races underneath the sea. In some kind of water world where something happened, or maybe that's how they evolved, but underwater.
I'm in.
I'm
in.
I love that environment. It's just such a cool play environment, I think, in my opinion,
Allegedly, in your opinion.
Allegedly, in my opinion. It is a wonderful setting because it's so different from the norm, So, and I think Deep Wars does a very good job of taking care of all the intricacies of that environment,
Yeah, so we're going to play it soon?
I haven't answered the question. Damn it. Yeah, everybody's like, okay, where's the answer to the question? What's your point, MJ? Yes, we will be playing Deep Wars. I may try a couple of solo games to get my rules up to place. You guys will see a couple of solo games, and then Julie and I, we jump in it again and have some Deep Wars.
Jump right in the water.
Jump right in the water. We need more mermaids. We got to get more mermaids.
There are never enough mermaids.
There are never enough mermaids. So.
Agreed. Okay, now the next one is Vanguard. When are we going to play Vanguard again?
That's a good question. I'll try not to go on a tirade on that one. I don't know. I've been trying to play Kings of War. I would like to play Kings of War and link Kings of War with Vanguard, because you can do that and play a little campaign setting with Kings of War and Vanguard. We haven't been able to do that.
Well, there's been a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Maybe in the fall we can do that. But Vanguard, I'd like to play a Vanguard game. Maybe that'll be our outdoor game. We'll play a little Vanguard maybe next week.
I miss Vanguard.
I miss Vanguard too.
I miss those exploding eights.
I know. We had so much fun with Vanguard exploding eights. If you haven't seen our videos, go check them out. We did a lot of stuff with Vanguard.
They're fun.
It was. And Steve,
Steve too. Yeah.
He likes Vanguard a lot. He played one game against you, I remember. And I know.
He beat me too, didn't he?
I think he beat you.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah. That's Steve. He's a tough one. He's a tough one. It's the only one that can beat her.
Yeah, so if you are tired of seeing me win and you want to see me lose, go ahead and check out one of those.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, so that's Vanguard. We'll try, definitely.
All right, so what's up for next week?
Well, next week, first things first, I do have a solo war game that I want to do. I put up a poll not too long ago asking people what solo war game you guys want me to see. People chose Age of Fantasy. So I'm working on a little bit of a narrative. Age of Fantasy, one-page rules. And I'm going to give you the information now. It's going to be a lizard man army. It's going to be my own little lizard, because I love the lizard men.
He does.
And then we're going to fight our way through a few games. So it'll be solo Age of Fantasy, Lizardmen versus God knows who and God knows what narrative, but it's coming. Hopefully next week. Hopefully. All right. We'll see how the week goes, and because I'm involved in so many different things.
Lots of projects, lots of stuff going on.
It keeps my mind occupied, definitely.
Anything else going on?
No, I think this is long enough. We did an extra long commentary today. This is we used to do this bi-weekly. We no longer do. We no longer have time, but we're going to try to get back into it. Maybe in the fall, do more bi-weekly chats.
These are so fun. I love doing this.
I love doing the commentaries.
Yeah.
And maybe what we can do is add a section in the commentary where we talk about a specific game, specific faction of a game, you know?
Well, we're going to be having a special one for talking about the fairies, right?
Yes, and that not only fairies, it's forces of nature with the fairies. And by the way, my documents, I already put a couple on Patreon. I already started developing the fairy worlds. That's on Patreon.
And it's pretty awesome, too. So I would check that out if I were you.
Yeah. And fairies are going to be brought into Spelljammer. Fairies in space. Oh, my. Fae in space. I mean, go figure. We're going to have a Fae crew member as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows, or anyone that's been watching us, watching our videos for any length of time knows that I love fairies and elves. They are my people. Both of them. So
well, that's how it is, and we'll definitely have it. There's definitely enough. We can make up our own Fae armies, all that stuff. So you'll definitely have plenty of material there. So.
All right, I guess that's it then, huh?
That's it, folks. Let's go because the dog is calling.
As you have heard, and I apologize that he was barking. He's telling us that he would like his dinner now.
Yes, absolutely. All right, folks, have a good week. Sorry about that, guys. The camera overheated and just cut us off. Camera's having that problem lately. A lot of overheating, especially when we're doing games and such. So
we're spewing too much hot air at it, so it overheats.
Too much chatting. All right, folks, have a good one. Julia, did there something you wanted to say?
There was. I wanted to say, we know it was a long one. If you made it to the end of this video, we appreciate you. And also, we want to give a shout out to our patron, Richard. Thank you so much for your patronage. We really appreciate it. And everybody, take care.
And thank you to everyone on the channel, all of you guys, all you subscribers, all of your views, your comments, everything else. Thank you for being kind. And we'll see you very soon, guys. All right? So have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.